The Oregon Department of Forestry battled 584 wildfires started by people in Oregon last year. That's 584 too many. Millions of dollars spent, lost structures, forests, and lives, all that could have been prevented.
Yeah, I know.
Matt Mackey is the wildland fire supervisor for ODF's Western Lane District. He's been fighting fires for 8 years, and although he loves it, he loves Oregon's beauty more.
Well, I love Oregon. Oregon is beautiful and it's green. When these fires go, it turns everything black, it kills all the vegetation around it, and turns it really ugly. And if we can keep Oregon green, keep Oregon fires safe, it's going to maintain that way.
Some wildfires are unavoidable. When lightning strikes, there's nothing to do but attack it. But out-of-control burn piles, campfires, cigarette butts, or even a spark from a lawnmower are always avoidable with just a little extra care.
They'll light their piles, leave, and all of a sudden the wind will pick up. Next thing they know, their field's on fire, or the fire spread to other areas of their property, getting trees on fire.
Oregon summers are hot, and this year we've already seen the temperatures rising and humidity dropping. Despite recent rainfall, forests and grasses are still extremely dry, and the National Interagency Fire Center is predicting a greater potential for large fires earlier in June right here in Oregon. That means extra precautions are needed.
Take consideration the conditions and not the calendar date.
As long as there are no specific burn bans in place, some campfires are allowed, but only in certain areas.
Just because you have a rock pit next to a river doesn't mean it's safe. You have to go to designated areas that are provided by the Bureau of Land Management or other park areas as well.
If you're planning a small campfire on your own property, the ODF is more than happy to come out and make sure you're in a safe spot. An area that is wide open and free from overhead trees or other fuels.
And when you're starting a fire, whether it be a campfire or burn pile, you want to make sure that you have the necessary tools to put that fire out. You always want to have a shovel and enough water to completely extinguish the fire.
And after picking the side and knowing how you'll put it out, Matt says the next step is keeping it in control.
When you're making a campfire, make sure you're keeping it small, you're keeping it controlled. You're not making sure you're not using too big of fuels so it can get carried away. And also make sure when you're going to bed at night, make sure it's out. You know, a lot of people want to keep a fire going throughout the night. Well, when you're sleeping, you have no control what that fire is doing. Oh, did I get his flare up?
Maintaining control is key, and doing so will keep you safe, protect the buildings and land around you, and not to mention keeping your pocketbook free from hefty fines.
The biggest thing is just use common sense and just use real extreme caution. Don't go out there lighting fireworks off in the middle of August.
Having a campfire is a fun part of the summer season. You just want to make sure that you're taking the necessary precautions to keep everyone safe and, of course, to keep Oregon green. In Veneta, Melissa Fry, KEZI 9 News.